Sonnet. So, in this video, we shall learn one of the most popular poetic terms called sonnet. This sonnet is originated from Italy in 13th century. It was actually popularized by Petrarch. Petrarch is poet who only introduced this term sonnet. So that is why the sonnet is oftenly called Petrarchan sonnet. And I'll tell you the meaning of the word sonnet. Sonnet means sonetto. It is actually derived from this exact word sonetto. Now it is being used as sonnet. And what do you mean by the sonnet? The word, what does it mean? It means it is short poem used with music. So generally any sonnet which is written by any poet has been accompanied by music. We do not simply read and get meaning from the sonnet, but we intend to give music to the sonnet as well as we are getting meaning of the sonnet. And it means little sound. So if you ask me that what's the meaning of this sonnet, mean that if since it's Italy language, it is little sound. So sonnet gives the meaning that it is a little sound or a song in Italy. In Italy, it's been meant as a little sound. So that is why the sonnet is a very little in size. So if I tell you that there are 14 lines only in the sonnet, so it is unlike other songs, ode, elegy. So ode, elegy, epic are larger in size or in numbers, but the sonnet has been very size. That is why it is called by the word, by the meaning that it is a little song. And Petrarchan or classical sonnet. So it has been called by another name, Petrarchan or classical sonnet. So it is the first form and very first originated by Petrarchan in Italy. And how many lines should be in the sonnet? That there must be only 14 lines. The entire 14 lines should express single thought or emotions of the poet. So here the poet will express his single emotion or single expression. He only will express. So it should be understood that there will be only one person who will express his emotions, his happiness, his of imagination through this sonnet. So there must be 14 lines only. In the 14 lines of the sonnet has been divided by two parts. One part is octave. Octave means it consists of 8 lines. So any part of octave should be of 8 lines. Another part is sestet. So let me explain about octave more. So octave means 8 lines. In all the 8 line of octave will be having a rhyme scheme like A B A B A B A B. So which means every 8 line will be ended with a particular alphabetical letters. If the first line ends with a particular letter, second line last line will be ended with another letter that will be arranged by A B A B A B A B. And here even inside the octave, which is divided into quatrains by 4 lines, 4 plus 4 8 lines. So every quatrain is called 4 lines, and if we merge both the quatrains or if we merge 8 lines, that is called octave. Then pause or cicero comes, then volto or turn in thought. So when the poet is expressing his thought in the octave, suddenly in the ending part of the octave, poet will turn his thought into another thought. So he will develop from the thought. He will not be remain in the same thought. When he finish the 8 lines, he will be shifting to another emotions, or he will develop from the same emotion to another emotion. Let me explain you. So the development of the octave will be called sisted. So now we are going to have sisted. Sisted means 6 lines. So we already discussed about octave, which is of 8 lines in the 14 lines. Now we are going to have 6 lines of the 14 lines. So any 6 lines is called 6 lines sisted. Sisted line will be ended with CDE, CDE. So that is the rhyming scheme. Now the sisted divided to two stanzas, tercet. Example is On His Blindness by Milton. So Milton's wrote a popular sonnet called On His Blindness. So if you study this poem, you will understand how the sonnet is formed, how the octave and the sister are divided as sonnet, and how octave will give meaning and expressions of the poet, and you will also know the development of the octave as in the sister. So that is how sonnet has been formed by Petrarch. And what do you mean by English sonnet? This sonnet, actually sonnet is originated by Petrarch in Italy. Now we are going to have English sonnet. This English sonnet is introduced by Thomas Wyatt and Earl of Surrey in 16th century in England. It is actually followed by Shakespeare sonnet. After Thomas Wyatt and Earl of Surrey have introduced on their own style by called English sonnet, Shakespeare also formed a sonnet for himself. So Shakespeare also has written a number of sonnets. And if you are looking into how the Shakespeare sonnet has been formed, that in Shakespeare sonnet there will be 3 quatrains and couplet. And you also know that what is quatrain. So quatrain is called 14 lines. So here Shakespeare has introduced 3 quatrains, which means 12 lines will be there. So each quarter four lines, and in among the 3 quatrains there will be 12 lines will be there. So remaining 2 lines, because it is sonnet, there must be 14 lines. So what is the last 2 lines is called? That is couplet. So couplet means 2 lines. The couplet will be located in the ending part of the sonnet after the 12 lines. So 13 and 14 lines will be called couplet. These Shakespeare sonnet will be ended as a rhyme scheme as ABAB, CD, EF, GG. And what is the rhyme scheme of say Spenserian sonnet is ABAB, BC, CD, EE. And if you ask me that what is subject of the poet that who will be introducing to the sonnet is, the themes of the sonnet is theme of love, human feelings, and experience. These are the different themes that the poet has expressed through the 14 lines of sonnet.